It's too late.
So tired. Oh, alrighty. Hello, welcome to Freehold Pub Podcast. This is Shaq. I'm here with Abyssal.
What's up?
And McCoy.
Hello.
Unfortunately, Mars is too busy getting fat to spend time with us.
Yes, you saw my message in Discord.
Yep. Today we have quite a lot to talk about, I guess. It's been an interesting week. Feels weird not having the beta to play, talk about as much.
Withdrawal.
Oh yeah.
Withdrawal.
Playing Destiny 1 compared to D2 is just so weird.
Interesting.
Especially Crucible, oh my goodness, it's so annoying.
I haven't touched Crucible yet, but since this is going to be the final Iron Banner, I might jump in just for, the last hurrah.
I do like that as control though. That's actually like really good.
Yeah, this comes full circle.
Yeah. Anyway, first option to talk about, discuss. Let's talk about mute characters. It came out this week that our character, our beloved Guardian, is going to be mute again for like the second year in a row. I personally not a fan of it. I was a fan of, if my biggest thing, like I've mentioned before, is if we're gonna be mute, at least give us dialogue options so it doesn't like we're getting talked at the whole time. It's just like awkward silences. And what makes it worse is our Guardian has an emotionless face, so it like makes it even worse because like in cutscenes you're just like what are you even doing? Like you're just sitting there looking awkward as hell.
Pretty much, it's like I think we need like a simple version of like Dragon Age Origins, like where your character was mute but you had dialogue options. It doesn't need to be as extensive as, of course, or like choices or none of that extra stuff from like Dragon Age. But at least at least like simple like answers that don't really change the overall story, but at least makes us feel like we're saying something.
Yeah.
Not being talked at.
Yeah, if we're getting talked at, it reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto 3. And your character would just stand there real awkward and weird looking the whole time, not say a single thing. I thought that was like a thing of the past. Not many games do that. Not even Skyrim does that. And like Bethesda is renowned for like having mute characters, but they always give you dialogue options. I kind of hope Bungie does something, like just a little bit. I haven't played WoW much, but I think they have the same option where like your character's mute, but you can like kind of, sort of, somewhat have dialogue options.
Warcraft, you have like, you are kind of mute, but it's more, it fits because your character is not in any cutscenes in Warcraft.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
In Warcraft, you are not in any cutscenes. All the cutscenes have just like the major story characters in it, but your character himself aren't in the cutscenes.
Yeah.
So you don't really have that awkward moment like you give example with Destiny. Like Destiny 2 when your ghost fell off and you were just like reaching out randomly to it, not saying anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any of those moments because you're just not in any of the cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead.
It just feels like a lot less personable without a voice.
Yep.
We hit the same problem that we saw after the Destiny 1 vanilla story, where but how is the story even about them? Or is it
quick thing, McCoy, you're lagging a little bit, my friend. Your audio is cutting out.
Yeah.
Did
but
you
yeah, it
switch
just
to
goes
an
back
Ethernet
to
cable? Or no?
yes.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's weird then. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Continue. My bad.
But yeah, we just run into that problem where your character just isn't that personable without a voice.
Yeah,
you don't know what their thoughts, their original ideas.
Like, at least give me emotions in my face, and I wouldn't care. Like, it would be kind of like, I would still care, actually, but I wouldn't be like, oh, look, this is boring, I'm getting talked at. Instead of, because, like, for instance, with Fallout 3, character never spoke. Say with New Vegas, character never spoke, but you had dialogue options, like we were saying. and it made you feel more a part of the game. Like you're like, oh, okay, I can choose this, I can say this back, and the person will respond. With Destiny, if they don't actually give you dialogue options, I'm like almost certain there's not. It's just been like, okay, cool. My character is just standing there looking really awkward and just gonna talk that. Like, am I gonna like? I would talk to the TV screen like a crazy person, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, I just don't feel a part of the actual game as much as I would if I could talk or I had a dialogue option. It's a great response.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I understand the whole idea of, I guess, having a silent main character so you can kind of put yourself in the character. You know, I guess that's the strategy they're trying to go for. Like, a la Pokemon or Zelda does it too with Link. Link doesn't really talk. Though in some of his games you had dialogue options, like Twilight Princess. You kind of had dialogue options for that. It's just, personally me, I'm not a big fan of it. And it feels worse when your character is like in cutscenes, unlike something like Pokemon where you don't really have cutscenes per se, so you don't have that weird, you don't have this cool cinematic stuff going on, and then you have your character standing there being mute, just being awkward and having people talk at you. When there are certain moments where you really feel like anyone would say something in that particular moment.
Yep. Yeah, I again, just something about it I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of hope that they address it and fix some things, just because it just doesn't seem like it's the smart way to go, given like the progress the game has made. I feel like with all the progress we've made, this might be a step back. Like just from like with the 50 cutscenes, I think it's going to be a setback because of that. Just simply because of that. That's going to be really awkward to have all these cutscenes and your character is just like...
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely push the problem to the forefront. Because right now, you know, a lot of people say, well, it hasn't really bothered anybody for like 2 years or hasn't been that bad or whatever. But I feel like it's going to be that bad now because there's going to be a lot more cutscenes and a lot more story-driven moments than there has ever been before in Destiny. Yep. So I feel like that's going to actually push that into a problem.
Yep. Well, here's hoping Bungie actually doesn't. Well, we know they're gonna like not fix it immediately, but here's hoping with an expansion they kind of bring in someone to be a voice actor, just someone in the slightest.
I guess what we could hope for Destiny 2 is we could either hope that they have some sort of simple dialogue thing, or somehow, I wouldn't know how personally myself, but somehow, I guess, work the cutscenes or do the story in a way that it really doesn't spotlight that you're being an awkward mute person, I guess, during the cutscenes or anything. Just how the way they're set up or, you know, designed. But I guess we'll see.
One thing that's just came in my head is what if we had dialogue options for our ghost instead of us? Because he said our character was mute. Our ghost, we know, talks a lot. What if when we're in a cutscene, we have an option for our ghost to talk? I think that could, like, help, I guess, deviate the pain a bit.
I wouldn't see why they would do that, though. Why have a middleman?
Because he's pretty much a middleman now. Like, he is. He talks for us.
That's my problem, though. If you're going to go through the work of giving us dialogue options, why make it for our ghost and not for our character?
Yeah, no, I get
For that, you might as well just have the ghost fucking talk.
Yeah,
it would make no difference that you put dialogue options.
Honestly, I think it's because they don't want to... I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but I can understand, like, you paid Nolan North all this money to come be the voice of the ghost, which is cool. Let him talk more, I guess. Honestly, I don't know. I just feel like the solution is either give our character a voice or let us make options for our ghost. I think that is fair. I legit think that works. Again, it's not as good as having us talk, but I guess dialogue options for our ghost, I think, is a happy medium, I guess, sort of, kind of. It's a lazy happy medium, but it's better than like, oh look, like for instance, prime example. Sorry, off topic, not off topic. Prime example.
No, go for it.
Rise of Iron. Okay, Rise of Iron's campaign was actually pretty cool. It was cool. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the campaign. The issues were, even in one of the Bungie trailers, your character stands there in the Iron Temple, like where all the statues are, and they have this blank, like, what the fuck am I doing stare. The whole time, while there's like some emotional crazy crap going on, you're like, Saladin's showing you like what happened with the islands and all that stuff, and your character is just standing there, like, that is, I think that needs to, like, change, like your ghost spoke every now and then. He didn't really say much. Even when like Saladin was talking, he never cut Saladin off ever, or even like asked some like question. He would ask questions when you would fly into a mission, which I think was really kind of okay, cool. But like during cutscenes, usually cutscenes involve back and forth dialogue. There was no back and forth dialogue. It was simply just Saladin spoke to you, and then you were gone. And your ghost would say something at the end when he was done speaking to you, and you're gone. I think that needs, again, like you said, work it some way where like there's something, either there's something crazy happening so it doesn't look like your character's mute, or give us a voice. I think that's the only two options you can go with now. It's just that.
Advice for everybody out there who also kind of feels like we do and feels like it's going to be awkward, and with like Shaq's complaint with the blank face. This is why you always put on show helmet. Just putting it out there. This is why you always have your helmet on.
Very true.
Avoid blank face.
Yeah. That's annoying. See, and I'm also confused. Like, what happened to the voice actors from Destiny 1? Why couldn't they just bring them back? What? I don't get like what caused them to just like, yeah, no, screw it.
It's kind of like what I said before. I think Bungie is known for wanting to do this kind of style where they want your character to be mute, so basically you fill in your character's boots. Your character is you, and part of that strategy is sometimes if your character has a voice, it interrupts that. You know, it kind of takes you out of that because you're like, oh, I wouldn't say that. They want you to be your character. And like I said, you see that with other games like Zelda with Link or with Pokemon. You know, you're supposed to fill in your character's shoes. That character is supposed to be you. So that's the whole idea behind the silent protagonist in the game, or even this just general story.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and I'm cool with it. It just, games have evolved since Bungie started making video games like that. Again, prime example, and it's kind of unfair to Bungie, but Fallout 4. Your character has a voice, yes, that is kind of weird, but they've adapted from where it was in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, where it was just, oh look, I'm gonna stand here and get spoken at the whole time. But I'm cool, don't worry, like it was always cool, like, okay, I can say what I want, but there was always still kind of like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you just standing there doing something? Like, it was really awkward. I do hope that they kind of fix, like, I don't know, it can't repeat Rise of Iron. I really can't. I can't handle a repeat of Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron was, again,
like
amazing
I said, I'm
thing.
glad that there's going to be more story, more cutscene, but I'm worried that more cutscenes mean more awkward moments like we saw in Homecoming.
Yeah.
Beta.
Homecoming, yeah, like that. Like, prime example, the best time to say something emotional was when your ghost flew off the damn side of the ship. That's prime, okay, show some sort of emotion, not like, it's fucked up because like I guarantee like if we had our helmet off, you would have had a blank dumbass face in that same moment. We would look like, oh, what's going on, bro? Like, we look like a, what are they called? I forget the word now. Oh, like a zoned out stoner, so I guess, sort of. Like, they're just completely high as shit and just have no idea what's going on. That's what our character looks like.
Another piece of key advice, this is also why, in case they force your helmet off, you picked an EXO, so you don't have to worry about that.
It's true, yes.
You are a robot.
EXOs, Team EXO, whole time.
Team EXO.
Do you have any thoughts
Right,
before?
choices,
I know
kids.
I talked a lot. My bad.
No, it's all good. I also agree. I'm thinking that, what they did in D1, and with all the new, we get all these different RPGs coming out that kind of expand into what Bungie kind of ignored in that respect in terms of like emotion and having some kind of dialogue. I agree with Shacks that they have to do something other than like mute, blank face, no emotion, stoner.
Yeah, like it can't. Games have changed. You can't just get away with just blank face, no talking. It doesn't work anymore. Like there are games like almost every RPG game now, with the exception, I guess MMOs are different, but almost every RPG game now has your character have some sort of voice. Or in case of MMOs, you do have dialogue options. Destiny doesn't do either one. It did, you had a voice to begin with, and then all of a sudden, literally out of nowhere, Taken King comes out. No, actually no, House of Wolves comes out. No voice. Crota came out. Your Ghost didn't even talk in those two expansions, which was even more weird. It was just awkward silence the entire time. Granted, no cutscene, so I guess that was fine, but still, like, what the hell?
It's true.
I'm just
thinking that if they do decide to add in decide to do something, there's like a thin balance, because I know everybody wants, they want all the like crazy dialogue, at least like something. I know a few people that are looking for, advanced dialogue system, but really, for them to nail it, with how much time they have left, it would have to be something that's not so intensive. So I kind of see where they're going.
Yeah, I highly doubt we will ever get any advanced dialogue options. Like, that's just something you will probably... Kind of like that conversation we were having with one of our clanmates, shout out to Beggar, in our Discord. Destiny is a multiplayer game, close to basically being an MMO. And that's just one of the constraints of being that type of game, that you're not ever going to have that kind of deep dialogue system you would find in, say, like Fallout or, Fallout, or Elder Scrolls, any Bethesda game, any BioWare game. You're never going to have anything as deep as that, because, you can't have choices. You can't have branching paths when you have to consider that there's 3 people there, not one. The only MMO I saw similarly do that was Star Wars The Old Republic, where basically you guys rolled on dialogue choices. So, like, if one person wanted to do a light side decision, another person wanted to do a dark side decision, then you guys will actually, like, take a roll. Basically, whoever got the higher number, basically won the decision. Yeah. And that would actually be what played out. That's the only way you could kind of do something like that. But I don't really see that being in Destiny.
Even doing, like, simple dialogue, though, like, there's a fine... I think there's a fine balance if they would have to achieve, like, simple dialogue system. You have to add something in there that's just general. Even that, I feel like it would feel a little like, oh, why is there a dialogue system if I don't get to inquire, or... You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna take a time.
Well, it's a feel thing. It's a feel thing. If you're gonna be mute, you want to at least have the illusion that you're, talking back. It's about not being talked at.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Being talked at is kind of annoying. It's just, again,
because then you don't feel like a hero. You don't feel like the main character. You feel like everybody's a bitch.
Yeah, you're a grunt. You're pretty much a grunt. And you're just sitting there, you listen, they tell you what to do and you listen, and that's it. I'm not I thought we were past that ages ago in video games.
Yeah. It's just... But I guess some people don't mind, but to move along, since we've been on this one topic for a bit, we did get to see the final game mode for launch.
Yes. Survival.
What you guys think about that?
New Trials game mode confirmed. 100%.
You think it's gonna be?
Oh, it kind of makes, like, it seems too obvious for it not to be.
Well, I don't know, it may be it, but you never know, they might, they might take a twist with it, kind of like they did with Elimination.
True. I don't like it. It seems I'm a huge fan of it. I should start with saying that it looks like a great game mode. it's more of what Trials should have been, I feel like. Oh shit. Like, it's really team oriented, and you have to choose whether or not you want to be revived, or I guess you don't choose, it kind of gets picked for you, I guess. But like, it's more, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna go run in the room and kill fucking 4 people, or 3 people by myself. It doesn't work like that anymore. So,
I guess, I feel like the name is a little weird, to be honest. I don't see it as a survival mode. It kind of just seems like, I guess, limited, like, Clash, basically. Because everybody's still just respawning in until your team runs out of lives.
Yeah, but then it becomes survival, technically. The survival
you
technically have to survive after that point. If you run into revives, you have to survive. You can't die. You die, you're out, and now your team's at a big-ass disadvantage. I find it... Survival, I think, is a good name just because you do technically, in a sense, have to survive. You can't just, like I said, go in gung-ho and just be like, okay, I got this, Leroy Jenkins. It doesn't work like that. You will die very fast, and you will cost your team a lot. It's more of, I guess it's more of a team survival thing than an actual, like, overall single.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Survival.
It just seems weird because it doesn't actually become survival until the end of the rounds. Yeah. And before the rounds, in the middle and beginning of the rounds, it's basically Clash. Until you notice, oh, we're low on lives. Now we got to start playing, more survival-ish. So I just personally find it a weird thing for mode. It's not like a deal breaker or anything bad. It's just I just find it a little odd.
Yeah, okay, I can
when you
that.
consider like survival in like any other game, what that mode.
You die and you're out.
Yeah, it's usually just one, or some other weird spin on it. But
McCoy, do you have any thoughts on it?
Not really. I kind of agree. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty much the newest Trials version. Is they said we were going to get Trials of the Trials of the what?
Nah, they themselves haven't technically said anything.
Yeah.
It's
so
been.
We still don't know if that's.
There was like that big leak that came out before Destiny 2 was announced, and literally everything on that list has been accurate and right, which is really creepy, by the way. But yeah, Trials of the 9 is said to be the new Trials mode, and it is again 4v4, like everything in Crucible is. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Like a new game mode, a new Trials. The Crucible enthusiasts are gonna be happy. I just think it's gonna be weird to find like. Okay, this is from an average person's perspective, just for like the sake of, I guess, bringing it up. When you play Trials and you go against like the famous streamers, usually they're doing a carry or like a double carry or whatever. Like Crafty does double carries all the time. If you do 4v4, there is an extremely high chance you're facing 3 godly players and then a carry. 2 alone was tough. 3, that's gonna be a bitch. I would not want to run into a group of like Crafty, Luminosity, because they play with Cathalion a lot, and then click it on top of that. I would be like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, you can keep your money. I'm out. Like, I'm not doing that. I hope that the matchmaking is a little bit better, even though they've already confirmed it's not. I don't know. Like I said, I love 4v4. I just hope, like, for Trials' sake, it's not like super stacked team against not so super stacked team. Just because I don't think anyone's prepared for that.
I think you always have games like that, and then games that are. You're gonna have games that are gonna be super stacked, and then games that are you're just gonna roll over teams. That's just how Trials has always been, and just honestly Crucible in general. That's kind of how Crucible in general is. Sometimes you'll just run up against a team that just mercies you, and then other times you'll mercy another team.
Yeah.
That just sort of thing kind of happens. With Trials though, it actually will be easier. Bungie even said it themselves that it'll actually be easier to carry people now because the person basically is worth less in the team. like basically you make up 25% of your team when it's 4v4. When it's just threes, you make up more than 25% of your team.
Which is
I forget the exact math number right
33%.
now.
It's 33.3 technically.
So,
but yeah, no, that part I agree. Like for instance, like okay, there are some people in the clan that we know that have not ever been to the lighthouse. It's tough. It's tough for like me to try to carry, or for me to get someone else and try to do a single carry to get someone to the lighthouse. It's tough as hell. In Destiny 2, I can get 3 guys that I know are good at Crucible, and then we can carry that one guy to the lighthouse. That will be a lot easier. Instead of the whole, good luck, you're important, I can't have you not do anything because I'm not a god type thing. So I'm actually excited for that part, I guess.
If anything, I think what might make it harder to do carries and stuff now is just how PvP works in general now, where it seems everything's more team-based and everything's more about team-shotting now than ever before. Than, you know, back in Destiny 1 where you can know, like, one man and an entire team and shit like that.
Yeah.
That seems a lot less likely to happen in D2, just going off of the beta Crucible.
True. Oh, we'll see.
Because if you ran into 2 people, your chances were a lot slimmer than they ever were in D1, especially with abilities reduced and everything.
Yep. I mean, or don't start. It's cool. Also, I guess to continue on to a different subject, this week at Bungie came out, obviously this week, and some of the things they spoke about, just like them going to be at Gamescom next week, and the biggest thing to me that I loved, Iron Banner is next week. It's the final Iron Banner of Destiny 1, which is going to be like an emotional moment for some people. I want to miss it. I love Iron Banner. One thing I'm glad they did.
And get to rank 5 on my Warlock one more time.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I don't need anything, but
yeah, I don't either. The one thing I am happy about, though, they made it Control. That to me, I think is like, that was crucial in my opinion, that you had to make the last Iron Banner what Iron Banner started as. It started as Control, and that's what it will be forever known for, is Control. It'll never be known for anything else besides Control. I
would have been fine with Clash, I'm just glad it's not Rift.
So if it was Rift, oh my god, the amount of hate, oh my goodness. That would be a no-no. That's the way to just piss everybody off. Yeah, here's a game mode you guys hated as Iron Banner, guys. Enjoy!
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, of course.
Oh, you both went up there?
Yeah, you can come up and get... You could just Nova Bomb up there since it is, Daybreak. It's Daybreak, so you just Nova Bomb up. Oh shit. There we go.
Oh shit.
Well, on top of this week at Bungie, they also enabled clan like your clan being able to be transferred over to Destiny 2, which I'll be honest, I didn't fully understand. Like, I was like, what's the point? Like, it wasn't carry over. So what they're doing, pretty much, after I read it, I did it today. Pretty much. So for instance, our clan has 43 members in it, but our group has 49 members in it. When you transfer your Destiny 2 clan over to being a clan in Destiny 2, anybody in your group is instantly booted if they're not in the clan. So if people, which I think, I get it, but I was like, okay, no, that's actually, that's cool. I think that should be a thing. Like, it makes people, like, you tell them to join your clan, like, okay, we got it, and then they just don't. This is kind of like, okay, well, you didn't join the clan, so yeah, now you're clanless. Find some, like, either join the clan or you're gone. Which I think is cool. I'm, again, totally fine with it. Just because having a clan that big with people who just didn't want to... Keeping track of it, and people not actually, like, I guess, being in the clan when they said they would be, to me, it's just kind of like, eh. So I'm personally, I'm cool with it.
Oh, shit.
He's dead,
just... cool note here, too, though, is, on August 23rd, there's apparently going to be, like, features and stuff, and you're going to be able to dress it up and everything, too.
Yeah, that part, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hope we make it look, I would run red. But I hope that, like, you can make your banner and stuff then. So it's a good preparation for D2. So when D2 comes out, you're set. Like, you're good. You don't have anything to worry about. Hopefully. But besides it, 12 wasn't really, like, so besides Gamescom, so it wasn't really...
the PC.
Yeah, all the PC. Yeah, the PC beta is kind of, like, short. I'm curious to see how they react to that. Just because it's like...
I agree.
It's 3 days, I think? 4 days? 4 days.
It's also, like, right before launch, too. Which is,
for us,
really
our launch, which is hysterical.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It's before our console launch. Everyone else, they have to wait. I have a friend who bought it for PC, and he's mad. He's happy to play it, but he's so pissed off. He's like, I can't wait till October. He's like, what the hell is this? Some of my old friends, like, that used to play this game, they don't play anymore, but they're excited to come, but they're playing it for PC. Yeah. It's just like, I was like, okay, well, I'll spoil everything for you. Good luck. Enjoy. Like, that's gonna suck. Like, to play a game, you have to wait, like, almost 2 months to play a game everyone else is playing. All spoilers are gone at that point. There's no such thing as spoiler alert. Everything you need to know about the game will be out. You will find cheeses, ghosts, if they have ghosts, everything that's anything about Destiny 1, they would find by then.
Pretty much.
So,
Also, the raid comes out before, too.
Exactly. The raid is not, you can't go into the raid blind. Like, at all. Which, again, is kind of shitty, but it depends, I guess, on what kind of player you are, if you care about that or not. But, and I guess the specs is cool thing. You see this, like, the specs for the Nightfall. Or the Nightfall.
Yeah, apparently it's not a lot. Apparently it's...
Yeah, it's like...
really, you know, you don't need a high-end PC or anything to pretty much handle
standard,
D2, which is nice.
Which, I'm cool with. I think that's a good thing, not to make it, like, crazy.
I think I think it was, like, Briar Rabbit or somebody who put out a video that it'll only take you about, like, $400, basically, to build, like, a PC, basic PC for, like, a D2 or something like that.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. That's actually
it's definitely inexpensive.
Well, $400 for you is like fucking $800 for me, but still. Cool. Oh, awesome. That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
But I guess to move on, because like again, COD wasn't really that great. What was great this week, all the bonuses we get in Destiny 2.
The pre-order bonus,
yes,
just explosion.
Especially being like on PlayStation, so you get like extra bonuses. But pretty much how it's worked out, how it's been like broken down, is if you get the digital deluxe edition, you get a sword, an emote, and a emblem. On top of that, you get the kill tracker ghost, which might I add is fucking awesome. That is amazing. I
love that video.
That is so cool. Oh yeah, the video is cool. I think it's awesome to just have a ghost that tracks your kills now. That is actually like phenomenal. That's like one of those little things you didn't think about, but when they bring it, you're like, oh, that's actually really cool. That's awesome. The biggest one, which has everyone going crazy, is Cold Heart. A new archetypal weapon, which is the only one of its kind, a trace rifle. An exotic trace rifle that goes in your energy weapon slot. Shoots an arc beam, which is kind of like a frozen arc beam, I guess. It doesn't freeze enemies, well, from what we've seen anyway.
It is. They confirmed it is still arc damage.
Yeah, it is arc. Yeah, so it's not going to freeze enemies, unfortunately. But like the gun shows like ice and stuff. But that gun looks amazing. They themselves have said like it'll take some time to get used to it, but if you get used to it, you can slay with that, and it looks like a gun you could just run through people in PvP and PvE, which I'm excited for a lot.
Well, it's supposed to. I think it might be good. It seems like it might be good in PvE. I don't know about PvP though, because they say it's a damage over time thing, and we've also seen the base stats on it already in one of the screenshots of it, and it is low impact.
Oh, if it was high impact, it would break a lot of things, including people. Oh yeah,
of course. But
destroy people.
That's just what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be like probably a cool PvE weapon, but usually stuff like that doesn't really do well in PvP because people are just they aren't gonna stand still. It's not like PvE enemies where you can like aim the beam down on them. People are gonna be moving around and everything in PvP. So
I guess it comes down to the magazine size of the gun. If there is even a magazine, if the magazine size is pretty high, I could see it doing some damage in PvP. It all just again comes down to the magazine size. What other pre-order bonuses were there? Oh, one pre-order bonus for you Americans, you lucky sons of bitches, was a Destiny 2 fidget spinner from GameStop.
I don't know about this fidget spinner craze that's been going around even before they announced this, so I kind of didn't feel like getting one. I felt like it was dirty.
Yeah, I personally don't like them, but I love Destiny. I want Destiny collectibles, so it would have been something I would have had to just chill on my mantle, like just have it sit there. And of course, I called my friend at EB Games and nothing. So I was kind of depressed at that. But yeah, what else? I think there was more. Was there more?
Just the original pre-order stuff. Like if you got the whatever edition, you know, the limited or collectors or whatever.
Yeah.
But the only 3 new extra things that we found out about was the Kill Tracker, Ghost, Cold Heart, and the fidget spinner. For I guess America. How do you guys feel about having an exotic as a pre-order bonus, though?
If you think about it, technically we had one with Rise of Iron. Technically,
that was a skin. It was a skin.
Yeah, it was a skin. Yeah, it wasn't a brand new weapon. You had to do a quest to get it, which I'm cool with. But it gives me a bad feeling that they're gonna push.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
I think they're gonna push pay to win for Destiny 2, and I don't. They didn't do it. They tried to do it somewhat in Destiny 1, like with the SRL, you could buy like sparrows and stuff, and like emotes and all that stuff. But it wasn't pay to win. It was pay to look cool, pretty much. That's all it was. It seems like they're pushing. Yeah, that's all on you. You want to spend money to do it? That's on you. It feels like now they might be pushing pay to win. And I'm not cool with that. Like, if it was like
I mean, people do eventually get it in December, but
that's a long
basically
time.
that's basically all vanilla because we're supposed to be getting the next expansion in December. So basically all vanilla. If you didn't pre-order, you would not have this exotic for all vanilla of D2.
And that's, I'm not a fan of that. Like that's a long time. Like a very long time.
Yeah, and it does make some people think that the gun is actually going to suck because of that, because they don't want to get into a Hawk Moon situation.
Oh god, yeah, Hawk Moon.
Because, you know, with D2 and well, because, you know, back what happened with Xbox basically never got the real Hawk Moon, you know.
Yep. A one-hitter
because
clear.
by the time they got it got nerfed.
Yep.
To the ground.
Yeah. So I wonder if we'll have another situation kind of like that with Cold Heart.
I honestly hope not. If it's crap, actually, I wouldn't mind. I'd be cool if it was crap. Just it would mean, like, I guess less, like, it's not the blow. It would soften the blow a bit if it was shitty. But again, I still feel like that punishes what. I feel like as a gaming community, like as a gaming developer, you're supposed to, especially like an MMO or open world shooter like Destiny is, you're supposed to, I guess, pay respects to your diehard fans who have been with you since the beginning, but you're also supposed to reward and welcome new players. Doing this with the pre-order for people who have never in their life even played Destiny 1, to be like, pre-order Destiny 2 or else, that gives a bad, like, it's like a bad example. They're like, people who get the game now, they're like, why would I, like, pre-order a game I don't know about? Like, I've seen videos. I guess you pre-order games you don't know about all the time, but usually you can play stuff, all that. But, like, if someone didn't play the beta, say someone didn't play the beta, didn't have time or whatever, the chance to, and their friend is just saying, get Destiny, get Destiny, get Destiny, so they finally get it, and they don't like it. But they don't pre-order it because they're like, I'll see how it is, and they buy it, and then, like, oh, this is, or they fall in love with it, and okay, they become like a collector. I want all the exotics. Oh, I have to wait till December to get this one. What is that show? Like, I think that's kind of dumb. If it was like a month for like, if you had to wait, that's fine because it's just a month. People will still be playing the game. Like, there's a lot to discover still. But December, when we're all gonna most likely be max level, preparing for that the Osiris expansion. What the hell? Like, that just, like, come on. That's not. I don't think that's fair.
What do you think about it, McCoy?
Definitely not fair. Well, like you were saying before, if the weapon is really like not good in terms of power, then I get that. That would soften the blow a bit, but I think as a community, one of the biggest things talked about in D1 is, are they ever going to try to make the push towards microtransactions? And when we saw some of that, it even though it wasn't like major, it was mainly emotes and things of that sort, shaders, sparrows. It still caused some backlash. It's still like some players saw it and they weren't too happy about it because, it was eventually edging towards, what would be major microtransactions with like pay to win level items.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I feel like as a weapon, as a collector, they're eventually gonna get it. But if the weapon is any good, then it's gonna cause some trouble. It will backlash. And yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, it's cool, and of course I pre-ordered Destiny because we all kind of did, just because we're fans of the first game and everything. But yeah, I definitely don't like. It's like continuing down that slippery slope that we had with Eververse back when they were selling. Was it the just the packages? I guess how you were getting like cosmetic armor, where you were getting armor, but it was like kind of cosmetic, or the rep boosters. The rep boosters was the kind of iffy thing. The other concern that I've been trying to look around to see if I could get a definitive answer, but I haven't found it yet. I don't know if you guys maybe heard anything, but if it's gonna be, are we like just gonna get that weapon and then have to just get to like the level requirement for it, or is there still gonna actually be a quest for it or not?
I honestly hope it's not just here you go. Because I personally think that devalues the weapon. Even if it is shitty, that devalues the fuck out of a weapon. If it's just,
well, the
here
other
you go.
problem it does is it takes away the experience of finding your first exotic.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, oh, here you go, here's an exotic. And you're like, well, my first exotic was obviously Cold Heart because I pre-ordered.
Exactly. I do hope that there's
it takes away
like...
that first exotic story.
Yeah,
it takes away the first exotic story. I'm just like, yeah.
There has to be a quest. It can't just be like, here you go, now get to level 20 so you can use this gun. I really hope it's not something like that. That would, again, devalue the shit of it. And then the other issue would arise that if that's how they handle it, when it becomes available to everyone December 5th, do they just give it to everybody? If people have to earn it then as well, because then that would be even a bigger slap in the face. Like, here, everyone gets this gun for free, you have to earn it now. That's just like that. I think that's just extremely not. That's not okay. Let's just hope Bungie's not that crazy. Yeah. Another thing, I guess, since we're on the topic of the exotic, the implications of what a trace rifle could actually be. It actually makes Almalon stand out because in Destiny 1 it was Suros because they had the Suros regime. And everyone's like, oh, this faction's really cool. This foundry's really cool and all that stuff. This now gives another faction, or I keep saying faction, another foundry, a standout exotic. I kind of hope they continue to go down this road, because I guess in Destiny 1 you also got Nemesis Star at the end of Destiny, which was in Destiny 3, Year 3. With Nemesis Star.
Amalon also had I believe the Warlock exotic too.
Yeah, but like that was like it was an exclusive exotic. It didn't really stand out. Like it wasn't Suros. I guess technically there was Hardlight, which was Amalon's.
It was a good scout though.
Oh, it's a crazy scout.
You had your super, you burnt people.
Yeah, their exotic. The exotics were really good. Like you had Hawkeye with Fabian strategy. Like it's a good exotic. It wasn't like, to me anyway. It wasn't just like, okay, this is like make or break. It was just kind of like, okay.
I don't know if it was ever confirmed if Hard Light was actually Amalon.
It says it on the thingamajigger on the
okay, so
gun.
Yeah, so it had two.
Yeah, they had two. Again, Hard Light was Hard Light. But yeah, it gives Amalon, I guess, an actual, like, it gives them hype, because like when the game first came out, Suros ruled. Hard Light was no one cared about, and it just kind of stayed no one cares about hard
that
light.
fun gun.
Yeah,
you
it
can
was
make a
fun.
raid party inside a
Exactly.
room. With.
you could make a snow globe if you popped your bubble, which is really cool too. But it wasn't like an OP weapon. I'm not saying this gun's gonna be an OP weapon, but it gives it like it makes the Foundry stand out off the bat, like we did with Suros. I'm hoping that like with like Viceroy and with like all the like Hawkeye needs Hawkeye needs some love. Just gonna be their weapons have been subpar. I love some of the weapons. Fabian's strategy I love. Liquid Mila when it has a good roll is awesome. Gahira's D, the hand cannon, and Judith, both really good weapons, but they're overlooked severely because some of their stats and their perk trees are awful. Hawkeye needs love. Oh, I guess and the Tamar needs Sniper. I love that too. But Hawkeye does need some love. What other foundries?
Interesting thing. People were actually saying the pulse rifle for Hawkeye actually doesn't have a fourth burst anymore.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't a fan of that. I was like, why would? Actually, no. Before I even announced it, I was watching the gameplay video, and I was like, because I'm a
Yeah,
I was like watching it. I'm like, okay, it's a Hawkeye gun. You can hear it sound. I looked and I'm firing. I'm like, why does he only have? I think it was 27 bullets. I'm like, that's not math. Like it's 4 shots. Why is it only 27 bullets? I was like, oh wait, he's only firing 2. I'm like, why did they just suddenly change it to 3 instead of 4? Like, what magically happened to kind of change their idea there? I hope
I'm curious on what they would put to replace that perk though, because that was one of the advantages of using a Hawkeye for like when it came to pulse rifles.
Well, it was like the only advantage.
Was the extra burst, yeah.
Give us something like more useful, because with some of their weapons, if you don't have the right perks, then the fourth burst, I'm sorry, it's just not.
It meant nothing. Yeah, it was crap. It literally meant nothing. Yeah, I understand.
Give us something more powerful. Like, they've had breeders to like work out, what perks kind of work.
It might be more of a stat thing, kind of like the rest of the foundries, like with Vice. Vice, you like reload faster and everything. If you notice, it has that intrinsic Vice perk on the weapons.
Yeah, but then what would Hawkeyes be? Because theirs was the fourth burst.
Know, because we haven't seen the thing, but
something. If anything, maybe subtle, maybe not, but something beneficial.
Maybe more stability. Seems like a Hawkeye.
Or what I think might be OP. What they could do is more damage. Let's say that final burst, like the third pulse,
extra damage
does more
will go along
damage.
with the whole military thing too. Military old style guns.
Wrong strike, McCoy.
Why do you think they crashed their ship into the dreadnought? Those are extreme tactics for the Cabal.
Yeah, no, I do kind of hope there is something like next, like a bonus in damage or something, just something to kind of make it not just. Oh look, it loses 3 bursts. It loses a burst or I guess a pulse. Good luck, and kind of because like again, it makes those guns shitty. They might not be shitty, but like it just to me, it kind of loses all of its like, oh look, this is a standout weapon and it's not faction or Foundry because of that. So I do hope there is like a better intrinsic perk for sure. I think besides that,
shall we talk about the big elephant in the room? I guess now that the beta's up, everybody's beta reaction videos coming out, and just the whole. If you notice, there's been a lot of videos out about did the beta fail or whatever. On what they were trying to do and everything. I've been seeing a lot of those. I haven't really got around to watch a lot of them. I think I may have watched like maybe 1 or 2. But a lot of like the big known like Destiny YouTubers and stuff have been posting them out. Like Sir Wallen, Mylan did too.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't watch those negative videos a lot just because I already know the concerns they will have. I'm a firm believer.
Well, for one of them I watched, this is not. They post like the question. I guess the question is kind of clickbaity in that way, but some of them actually aren't really negative. Some of them are actually arguing against it, saying that it didn't fail, that it was actually good, and that the person liked it.
Yeah, I guess.
But I do see a lot. I think I guess how I feel about it is I feel like if you like Destiny 1, you're gonna obviously like Destiny 2. If you've been here for like 3 years in Destiny 1, then Destiny 2 is just more of what you love and what you like.
Yep.
But I do think Bungie kind of fucked up when it came to trying to get people back who left because of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Because of like the horrible launch or whatever, you know, people didn't like about D1. D2 doesn't seem like it's, I guess, wowing anybody. I guess with the beta at least, it didn't have like that wow factor.
It doesn't look like a brand new game. It looks like a sequel. Like that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that's more of why it didn't wow, because it looks eerily similar to Destiny 1, so I understand it, and it's again supposed to. Like I said last podcast, it is a sequel, not a brand new standalone game. That's part of the issue as well. Like I said, it's the other side of the story is, or argument, I guess, is it looks really similar to Destiny 1. I don't personally have an issue with it. I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, if you've been here for 3 years, then obviously you're gonna like D2. But also, you know, in our own clan, if you remember, with Pegger, you know, he didn't really feel wowed by it either. And you know, he's been around with us for like 3 years, and I think that speaks a lot to what kind of a good part of the community kind of feels about the beta. Too. And some people, I've heard mixed reactions about the strike too. Some people liked the strike, other people felt like the strike was basically a D1 strike, like they didn't really add anything to it.
Yeah, it's like almost, I think they took a step back. Because, like, if you look at the strikes in Destiny, like, just vanilla Destiny, were bullet sponge and a half. Like, Val's to Arc, all of them, just bullet sponges. Taken King came out, there were dynamics to the strikes. They kind of had that, because it gave you, like, he changed his health, like, his damage output, like that, so that was cool, but, I mean, that's it. Like really, that's really it. That's all we're doing is we're just changing his damage. It wasn't really like anything spectacular. So I kind of feel, I understand where people come from where they're like, yeah, this doesn't feel, this feels like D1 all over again. Strike should kind of feel different, but again have that similar feel like, oh yeah, this is a strike, but it didn't give me that feeling at all. I was a little disappointed in the strike. I wasn't a fan. I only ran the strike, I think, once, and then we were doing the podcast last week. I just had it on loop and I was just zoning out completely. I treated it like a year one strike. I was like, cool, we're just gonna keep doing this until it's over with. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the more I think about it, the more I've thought about it, and you know me, I was actually on the beta like almost every single day it was up, just all day. So I think what the beta was lacking, I think they it was lacking a wow moment.
Yep.
It was lacking like something just boom spectacular that would just grab anybody's attention, whether you were, you know, a fan of D1 or, you know, not, or if you fell off. It was lacking that universal just, you know, boom moment.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it was kind of the reverse of what happened with the D1 beta, where the D1 beta obviously showed us too much. I felt like this showed us too little.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's concerns, if you hear from the beta, seems to be with PvE. Because we really didn't get much for PvE at all. All we got was the strike and then the homecoming mission, which wasn't repeatable unless you kept making new characters.
Yeah.
So basically it was just about PvP.
And like I can understand like why they didn't want to do it, because they've at least verbally made it extremely obvious and clear that they want PvP to be rewarding and a lot better in Destiny 2. So I can understand that, but give us a taste of it. Don't just like give it, oh, here's the first story mission, which again, story mission had like a wow, like, oh my god, this is fucked up moment, but I mean, that was it, and you couldn't, again.
Well, if you were like a player who didn't play D1, you didn't know what was going on in that at all.
You had no idea what a ghost even was. You didn't know like why you cared if he flew off the ledge or anything. You just were like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? So I
feel like they messed up in that. Oh, go ahead, McCoy. Yeah, I'm talking about it.
Well, no, just kind of general agreement. Like, give us something that kind of shows what you guys can do now that you've had 3 years of basically feedback from all your other similar works. Like, give us something that feels more than just, you know, this is a sequel. Hey, this mission, it's a sequel.
Yeah, like, pretty much show us what you've done. Like, you, honestly, like, I get, like, Destiny, we pre-ordered Destiny 2 based on what we loved about Destiny 1. But that's all it was we loved Destiny 1, so, like, this is why we pre-ordered it. Pre-ordered Destiny 2. I feel like they didn't care enough to sell the game to their new players, like, their old players. They just, like, yeah, here's this, here's that, we're done. I kind of feel like that, to me, personally, I feel like it was a disservice to us, just because, like, hey, we have, like, the story that we can't repeat, and the Strike and Crucible. But, like, our concerns were PvP and Crucible a lot, but the PvE crowd has been neglected almost since the, like, conception of Destiny 1. It's been neglected a lot. Like, it's been boring. You can't repeat PvE a lot in Destiny 1 because it's the same shit over and over and over. Like, it was annoying. I'm hoping the reason they didn't want to show us Destiny 2's PvE content is because they're still, like, fine-tuning and perfecting it, but I would still like to know, like, because all these public events and all that stuff that IGN showed, why couldn't we even, like, just give us, like, a little section that we could go to that it was locked off?
They need to show Patrol. They needed to show Patrol, because honestly, during this whole just hype train, hyping up D2, the thing they keep talking about is, you know, Patrol. All the changes they've done to Patrol. Lost sectors, flashpoints, you know, the whole shebang, and it was absent from the beta, and I feel like it kind of really hurt the marketing of the game.
Yep.
I think it really hurt it. The problem with D1 when they showed off Patrol is they gave us the biggest Patrol off the bat, which was the Cosmodrome. And they gave us all the story missions in said area too.
Yep.
So what they could have just simply done was give us like the smallest area, which is like Nessus, which is where we had the strike on.
Yep.
Or just give us a part of it, don't even give us the whole thing, just block it off, because they blocked off parts in the strike portion of it, as people found out while they were trying to explore. So they can obviously block off things.
Yeah, and that's just
give us a bit taste of the activities we can do that they've been just talking about since the reveal, since the DRE, the Destiny reveal. That was one of their major pushing points, was the Patrol. And I think not letting people get a taste of that kind of really is where all this negativity and just stuff is coming from, at least from the PvE side.
Yeah, I hate that, like, our only look into Patrol was having to load a fucking strike and then kind of fuck around in that strike. That, to me, just wasn't really, like, why? Just why? Like, just give us something. That's why, personally, I didn't play the beta much. I was amazed when I got in, because I got in, like, I was in our party, I was the first one in the damn beta, playing it, enjoying it. And I was happy as hell. And I was like, this is great, this is fun, this is everything I wanted it to be. But then the story mission ended. Then that's when I was like, like, Crucible was fun, but I'm like, I can only take so much. I'm like, okay, I don't want to keep doing this all week. This is all the beta is. The beta didn't really have much. For me personally, it didn't have much. It wowed me, but it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna do this every day, because I did not have that energy.
Yeah, it was lacking that spectacular boom, that addictive pull in.
Yeah. And again, I'm a Destiny diehard. I loved it. Like, go ahead.
It's like it was Bungie sticking their foot in the door, but it's not like opening the door all the way. Like saying, I'm here, but I didn't really bring anything to this party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like, I get they want to leave a lot to it, like our imagination and us to like find and figure stuff out, but like, come on, dude. That wasn't enough.
It was the opposite of what happened with D1. They just went the total other end of the spectrum,
which is what Bungie's been known for.
They didn't show too much and everything. And I guess their main focus for the beta was to test. But the thing is betas have evolved since then. They're not just tests anymore, especially when you have it be open. When you have a closed beta, that's more for testing. When you actually have an open beta, that's more, I feel like, should be more for marketing. You're trying to pull people in. You want to get those pre-orders. You want to make those sales. So yeah, you could test stuff and test connections and everything, but your main focus for an open beta should be to draw people in. And I feel like they kind of crashed and burned.
They had people return pre-orders. They had refunded pre-orders with the approach they took. That is not that should not be a thing. They definitely, again, I'm not, it sounds weird because it sounds like I'm changing my tone from like last week when I said I loved it, because I did love the beta, but after that discussion we had with Pegger,
we're just giving constructive criticism. We're just being realistic from a marketing standpoint. If we're standing on the outside, not as like a Destiny fanboy, how would the beta look to you?
It looked bad. It looked bad. It really did. It did not look like something like, if I didn't play Destiny, that was not enough to make me spend $80 because us Canadians suck and our money sucks. That was not enough to pull me to make me spend $80 for it. I'm sorry, but no, it was not enough.
And even as Destiny fans, we want more people to get into the game. We want more people we can talk to about the game, more people to join, clans and just to be able to play with. We want the community to grow. So it is still important to us. We're also going to get the game because we love Destiny and we're just invested in it. But, it's just being realistic and giving constructive criticism and obviously with all the, videos and just even articles from like mainstream media coming out, obviously something happened, something went wrong. Obviously it wasn't just everybody just crying and whining for absolutely no reason. Maybe it might be a little excessive because the internet's like that, but obviously there's a group that felt, I guess, disappointed with the beta.
No, they definitely felt a little like, hey, can we have more, please? Because it was just like, it just wasn't enough.
And we all saw what happens when you can have a negative early access type thing. Cough, cough, Andromeda. You can kill the franchise.
Kills your franchise. Which, again, separate, this is not Destiny related, but as a BioWare fan and a Mass Effect lover and diehard, the criticism towards Andromeda was warranted but not fair, because every game has bugs at launch. Like it was way too excessive. And what makes it worse is now, yes, it is like 4 months since the launch of the game, but now the game is actually amazing. Like they fixed pretty much all the bugs. Like the animation bugs have been fixed. The game looks great and it's actually fun to play. And the story, they never took away from the story. The story was still crazy and there were so many things that could have happened. And then, like, by the way, since everyone hated the animations of a game that just launched, fuck this franchise. We're killing it before it even started. What? That's bad. So I'm hoping with Destiny 2, they see what happened. They're like, okay, let's not do that. If it can kill BioWare and all the momentum they had, Bungie's not immune to that. Destiny 2 could kill them if it gets received horribly at launch. So I really, really, really hope they I hope they give us a lot more when it comes out. I really, really hope. I guess in a second.
Like I said, I think it's gonna be. I think D2 will be a good game, and there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen yet that we're gonna be like, wow, that's cool. But I just think what just happened with the beta is that Bungie just hurt its initial launch sales, which kind of sucks because that's a big thing for games in the video game industry, is your first week out, how much the game makes off the bat, and then how much it makes a couple months down the road. But hopefully it'll be amazing and it'll recover from that if it lost any, however much it lost from that one article you were mentioning about people, returning pre-orders to GameStop.
But I guess perfect segue is, since this is a dry spell for Destiny, people have been playing other games. I myself and some people of the clan have been playing Warframe, picking that back up and stuff, and Warframe has practically changed. I guess not the game, they've changed. They're bringing in December an expansion called Plains of Eidolon. Pretty much it's open world It's an open world third person shooter. It's pretty much, I don't know how to explain it. It looks amazing. It's open world. If you've played Warframe, you understand like what it is. It's open world and it's gonna be huge. The implications on that launch, it comes out in December apparently for consoles. It's been rumored. I guess what they confirmed was September for PC, December for consoles. Destiny 2's expansion comes out in December. That much we know. If Destiny 2 is taking hits, like pretty much if they repeat Taken King, Destiny 2 could very well be fucked. And you can only piss off people so many times. They're like, hey, yeah, I'm over this. Fuck you guys, I'm done. The beta, some are underwhelmed. Some people love it, some people hate it. Like we were saying, it's underwhelming, overwhelming, whatever. The launch of Destiny 2 could be a bad launch. There could be a lot of game-breaking bugs. We don't know. There could be a lot. The implications, though, of Plains of Eidolon, let's play the opposite side of the spectrum. Say Destiny 2 is doing amazing, and they're like launch sales or all that stuff, and it's still like especially for Warframe still comes out. Could this persuade if Plains of Eidolon gets received really well and is great? Could this persuade Bungie to switch a bit and make Destiny more open world? I guess we have that with Patrol sort of, but I don't think it's like the same concept. Or it could be, we just don't know because we haven't played it yet. But that's what I'm trying to ask. Would you see Bungie changing Destiny to more of an open world type game? I guess sort of. Yeah.
I think we might see that. Like you said, Warframe's coming out, and the Plains of Eidolon. Is that how you pronounce it?
Eidolon.
Eidolon. Okay.
Yes.
It's coming around D2 DLC. The thing about it is, Warframe is entirely free to play, and it's coming out with this open world concept that we've already played people in our clan have played Warframe, and we know how loose and how just amazing the game is. It trumps a lot of other games that in that category.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be really smart of Bungie to take from that game and try to, include some open world, because frankly, if Warframe's launch is really good and Bungie and D2's launch is didn't really come off really good, game breaking bugs and the like, they're gonna steal competition right out from under Bungie.
Yep.
Steal consumers and people right out from under Bungie.
I think it needs to happen though. I guess before Abyssal says something, I'm sorry.
Go for it.
We said the same thing with Andromeda. Actually, it's talking on the subject. We said that if Andromeda comes out and Bungie's Destiny's in a drought, which it was at the time, the sales for Destiny is gonna be dead. And then Andromeda came out and it was like, what the hell? Because of the animation defects. Warframe has been around for 2+ years, and it's been free to play since it's been made. And the amount of just in general customization and personal feel, you can make your Warframe however you want. The personal customization that a free game has trumps anything Destiny has ever had, by far, in customization terms. You customize your ship, it's crazy. And then they're gonna add on this big open world thing for free on top of that. And Bungie wants to charge us $80 for a game, and then $100+ for the whole year if you get the expansion pass. That's just, I think Bungie needs to learn from that, because if this comes out and it starts killing Destiny's fan base, I think they need it, actually. I think it's smart. I think it's healthy for competition. Competition is good. It's healthy for everyone because it makes people one-up themselves, which is, I think, is what Bungie really needs, to be fair. But go ahead, Abyssal.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with the whole competition thing. I think it's good that we're having stuff like Warframe kind of picking up steam, and we have Anthem coming from BioWare.
Yeah.
And to give an example, I've been seeing kind of changes with another game with Blizzard's Hearthstone. They've actually been making a lot more kind of life improvements in the game. And I think that's been happening a lot because a lot of competition has popped up for Hearthstone lately.
Oh,
If you think
yeah.
about
Yes.
just the digital card game,
Yep.
this thing has exploded.
Gwent and Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, big name people.
Yeah,
and
like
there's
they're
even
coming.
a bunch of little things too, like Shadowverse and a whole
Yep.
bunch of other digital card game things have just that scene has exploded since Hearthstone like rocked the world like its first year.
Yep.
So I've actually been seeing a lot of like good life improvements for that game lately, and I think it may be because of all the competition now that they have to keep up with.
Yep.
So I think definitely that'll do good for Destiny. And Warframe, I've played, you know, a bit of it too, and I've been like trying to get into it since everybody's been talking about declining and everything again.
Yeah.
It's amazing that game's a free game. I just want to
Right?
with how that game looks and the stuff that you could do with that game, it's insane that is a free game.
Right, exactly. Like, it's crazy.
But in my personal experience, compared to Destiny, it doesn't grab me as much as Destiny does. I can't really pinpoint why. I think it might be a progression thing. I don't really feel like I'm progressing that much in that game when I'm doing stuff. And I kind of get a real sense of redundancy, too, in that game. Where I'm shooting these like super weak enemies that die basically almost instantly, just over and over again. Or I'm like holding down a point. It just seems a bit too repetitive for me personally, and it hasn't grabbed me yet. I'm still been trying to play here and there, and I even got my girlfriend to play with me a little bit, just to see if it'll help if I'm playing with somebody to get into it a bit more.
Yeah.
But so I'm not sure if we'll really pull anybody away from Destiny like in a extreme big way. And when it comes to the open world thing, I don't know if Destiny will go that route just because when you think of open world, most open world games, you can do third person. They're not really first person.
Yeah.
Destiny is mostly first person. Warframe is third person. Anthem is gonna be third person.
And technically Fallout
Skyrim
is first
can do
person,
both.
but it's both. Yeah, same as Skyrim.
Bethesda does both.
Yeah.
It's an option for you to go first person, but you know, you can switch to third person at any time. So could I see Destiny as becoming a third person game? I don't think so. So therefore, I don't know if we'll get an open world version of that.
I mean, technically you can go third person with a sword, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
But remember, shooting in third person is completely different
A
though.
bitch to get used to. Holy fuck, is it painful to get used to it.
That completely changes the gunplay, and judging how Bungie does gunplay, has Bungie ever done the third-person game? Does anybody know?
Nope.
I don't think they've ever done the third-person
Halo's been
game.
FPS. Yeah, all their games have been like, except no, I guess their original games were, but they were like arcadey games, so like they weren't like first-person shooter games. They weren't shooting games actually.
So I don't think that's just their style genre that they want to like just all of a sudden shift to. I think that would be kind of like if BioWare shift to doing like just PvP.
Oh my god.
I just don't know if I see that. I mean, even the multiplayer stuff BioWare has done has all been cooperative. None of it's PvP based.
PvP would be cool though.
I don't know, but that's just my personal take on all that.
I guess another thing. I guess you brought up Anthem. I think more than anything now, I think Bungie's gotten complacent, I want to say, almost, is what it seemed like with now that I think about it, like, with the, beta and stuff. They haven't actually ever been threatened in a sense of, like, you're losing your crowd. Division was supposed to do that, and okay. Mass Effect was supposed to do that with, like, this story and everything, and that, again, was received horribly. Besides those two games, there hasn't been a game that has been similar to Destiny and has challenged them at all. No game has, in fact, even threatened the Destiny community at all. Like, even when, like, when it was dull, like in Taken King, when it was just dead, there was still not a game. Like, when Division came out, Division was great for, like, a week, and then it was back to Destiny. So I think Bungie needs, and I think BioWare creating Anthem is what Bungie needs to get their like shit together, and Warframe's expansion. I think they just need, like I said, competition is healthy. I think they need that to kind of be like, okay, we need to not be this complacent and shitty. We need to do better and make a better game. Like, I'm not saying I hate Destiny, but I'm saying complacency is bad. Yeah.
Here. We still love the game. We still care about the game.
Yeah, just complacency is bad.
These obvious topics.
Yeah.
I think Destiny has. I think Bungie has realized, and I think they know that they have a cemented community at this point in Destiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar. I guess the best example is like Warcraft. Warcraft has had its issues and has had its downtimes, like Destiny. Like, for example, Warcraft has had its own version of the taking care year-long no content bullshit. That has happened in Warcraft like twice. That's happened twice in as long as Warcraft has been around. But obviously, it's still around. It still has a huge freaking, community and fan base. And you pay for that game monthly, by the way. So
yeah.
The fact that it has survived that is just shows that if you hit, I guess, lightning in a bottle is the correct term. You can have a community that sticks around usually no matter what. It's usually because it's based around nostalgia and it's based around all the memories and just experiences you have with your friends and people and family during the game. That kind of brings you back to the game. That's why sometimes I always get pulled back to Warcraft, just because of that nostalgia feeling and because of what it once was and what the game once meant to me. So I think Destiny is kind of safe in that regard, but I do still think some competition will kind of give us life improvements, like I saw with Hearthstone.
Yeah,
like it'll inspire them to do more, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I think.
People doing more.
I think they need that. They need that threat. They need to see that big
now,
dip
whether
in
Anthem
people.
and Warframe will do that, I don't know. Just because, again, it's kind of like what happened with the Division. Division, again, if you notice, was third person. It's just that difference in genre. Some people are okay with third person. Other people are like, no. From going from FPS to third person, some people just don't want to do it. And there's a good group like that. One, I think what game might actually push Destiny, though, is the original looter shooter, Borderlands. If they come out with a new Borderlands game, I think that will light a fire under, Bungie.
Very true.
No other game would. And we know they are, at the moment, making a new Borderlands.
Yep.
We've seen the tech demo of it already.
Yep.
And if you remember, Borderlands was before Destiny, kind of like what Destiny was. It was a looter shooter you could play with friends, and it had like raid bosses. It didn't have like raids itself, but it had like raid bosses. A big ass fucking monster that had mechanics, and your team had to fight. And it even had its own little version of PvP too.
Oh yeah. And it had
so
the
honestly, Borderlands is probably the closest thing that could ever really give Destiny competition more than I think anything else would, because it's first person. It has crazy abilities, kind of like Destiny. It's based off of loot, kind of just like Destiny, even with like the color schemes and everything. So if that were to come out, I think that'll be like, if anything, that'll be the game that could pull people from the Destiny community to the Borderlands community, especially if they do that like MMO style, like some people think they might be doing.
Yeah, that's a game changer for sure. If they do MMO style Borderlands, holy shit, that's gonna be crazy.
That's like spitting in their face, like Bungie, come out and like, challenge us. We're calling you out. We're back.
The restorative mind
yeah, that's pretty much.
So
I think
that
that's
would
what
be
they
interesting.
need.
I would like to see that fight, and either way we will win because we'll have two awesome games.
Exactly.
So the consumer always wins when there's competition between studios or publishers or companies in general. So I would like to see that. I would like to see Borderlands come back with something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Besides that, I don't want to end on a negative. Besides that, when Destiny 2 comes out, there's gonna be like a lot. There's gonna be a lot, to do and to see and discover. Is there anything in particular? The first thing you guys are looking forward to doing? I guess we haven't actually touched on that, which is kind of weird, but yeah. besides
I
the
think we
story.
have, like, probably, like, way back in the, like, one of our first podcasts, I think we did. We talked about what we were most interested that they've shown. But you go first, McCoy.
I guess the very first thing I would like to see, well, I guess I can't really, there's two things. The very first thing that I would like to see, but I don't know exactly when I'll find it, is I want to see how, we understand that they're not bringing back the Grimoire. So I want to see exactly how do they replace that? What lore system are they putting up? What are we going to get? Like, in detail.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how we're going to get all these little interesting tidbits and facts that we got from the lore that were just to achieve the level of depthness with those. Like, I don't know. I want to see how they do that. And also,
I agree.
the thing that I can actually, like, visibly see, I would like to see how elaborate and huge their patrol modes are. See how much space we have for Trenton.
Word. I agree.
Yeah, that's mine. My first thing I want to do, honestly, is dive into the Lost Sector.
Yeah.
Because dungeons have always been my favorite thing in, like, RPGs or MMOs. It's just going with a group of friends down into, like, the deepest, darkest pit and fighting, like, some boss and getting loot and everything. Just a traditional dungeon run, you know?
Yep.
So that's definitely what I'm looking for. I want to see if they do Lost Sectors right.
I really hope they do. For me, honestly, the new raid. Bungie has done raids really good. I don't think there's actually been one, like, really shitty raid. People will say King's Fall was bad, but personally it's one of my favorites. It just was different. I'm looking forward to the new raid, and I don't know, probably the new Trials mode, just because it seems interesting. Like, it'll be...
Yeah, it's different. You're not reviving anymore. It's a completely different mechanic.
If that is, of course, the mode, but it's kind of obvious it will be. I think everyone's kind of come to a consensus that that's going to be the game mode. Yeah, that's really it. I'm not really looking forward to much else. I am, but, like, it's the basic stuff, like the story and all that, but...
Yeah, that's like your major.
Yeah. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm looking forward to the story, because, like, literally everyone is who plays Destiny. We need better story.
I'm concerned about the story, but even if that fails, if they do the patrol stuff right, I think we'll be fine. Kind of like we were in D1, where the story completely flopped. But, you know, we were fine because the rest of the game was pretty good.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Besides that, I think that's a good stopping point. It's a good podcast this week. I'm hoping Gamescom brings more news though next week for sure.
Does anybody remember when exactly Gamescom starts? I know it's in August.
I have no idea. It might not even be next week. I thought it was, but I swear he said next week.
Mid-August?
It might be. But either way, I'm hoping they bring something.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get some tidbits and some of the twabs as we get closer to.
Yeah.
You never know. Sometimes they like to drop stuff in there. Especially once the last Iron Banner and the Trials goes away, then they got nothing to talk about.
There's literally nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see I will say, I do want to see the Destiny Twitch directory once there's no more Trials.
Right? Oh my god, that's gonna be...
To see how that thing looks. To see what are people doing.
It's gonna be dead.
How are they surviving? Right? How are Destiny streamers and Trials...
A lot of them have been playing like other games. I think like Lumi's been... I guess like the really competitive PvP guys, they've been practicing for tournaments and stuff. The guys I follow, like Hobie, and them, they've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds a lot, so that's a good, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of like the new hype thing right now.
Yeah. Which I'm cool with. The game looks awesome, by the way. I just wish it was on PlayStation and console, but we don't get it.
You know who apparently hates the game, though, which I found funny? M-Tash. Apparently he did not like it. I haven't really looked at what he was saying about it, but I just caught like a clip of him what he was saying about it, how he wasn't interested in it. And then I've heard like rumblings of other people. Apparently there's like stuff wrong with the game. I think it might have to do with bugs or something, or balancing, that some people have been kind of upset with lately. And I also saw like you know that gaming news video stuff I post sometimes, the No.
Yeah.
They actually had a vid up about something apparently really bad happened with PUBG. I'll probably look into it and get back to you guys about it.
Alrighty. Well, this has been good. This has been fun. Talked a lot. Again, McCoy's been quiet, and I apologize. It's our fault for talking over his back, but it's all good. He gets his really good points in all the time, so I guess we're good. But yeah, anyway, this has been Shax. And, yeah, go ahead.
This has been sorry. I didn't know if you were going to do it or I was going to do it.
Nah, I know, it was awkward.
Alright, yeah, this has been Abyssal.
This has been McCoy.
It's been back. But yeah, this has been, two back. This has been Freehold Pub Podcast, and thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.
First crying.
Right? Oh my god.